Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first time. So today we are going to be talking about porosity, okay? I'm gonna be real with y'all. I didn't really know what porosity was or that it was important until very recently. I think a lot of people would go on YouTube or see people and think their hair looks like ours as far as, type whatever, 3C, 4A hair, and then start doing the things and using the products they used, and my hair wasn't coming out like their hair. My hair would be really dry, or my hair would feel really just like limp. And it was like, why are our hair looks the same? I'm doing the exact same thing they're doing. Why isn't my hair turning out like theirs? So I decided to make this porosity video. Disclaimer, I am not a cosmetologist, okay? I don't know the scientific things. I've just done my research and I've paid attention to my own hair, so I'm going to speak from that point of view, okay? Porosity, in short, is your hair's ability to absorb and hold on to moisture, okay? So basically how easy or difficult it is to get moisture in your hair and then keep it and maintain it. I have been walking around recently saying that I am high porosity. I have high porosity hair, but I've never done a porosity test. So at the end of this video, I am going to do a porosity test and tell you what my actual hair porosity is. So y'all stay tuned for that. But let's get into porosity a little bit more. There are three basic types of porosity. You have low porosity hair, medium or normal porosity hair, and then high porosity hair. So a simple thing for low porosity hair is that your hair cuticles are closed, making it more difficult for water to get in. So if you have low porosity hair, some things you may notice are that it takes your hair a longer time to dry, or it's very prone to product buildup. So you can't use a lot of thick products, or if you do, you notice that you do have buildup on your hair. And then another thing that you may notice is that it takes your hair a long time to get fully saturated with water. So when you hop in the shower, it takes you forever to get your hair just like soaking wet. So those are some quick things that you may notice if you're low porosity. For normal porosity or medium porosity hair, cuticles are slightly open, giving them the ability to take in water. So this is really just perfect. It's just enough to get the water in. It's not too much, it's not too little. It's just, the best of both worlds. Doesn't take too long or too short for your hair to dry. Your hair is pretty much bouncy. It takes the products well, easily absorbs moisture. Your styles last for a pretty long time. So if you're normal, medium porosity, you really just living the good life. Okay, and lastly is high porosity hair. So your hair cuticles are wide open, making it easier for water to get in, but just as easy for water to get out. Some things you may notice if you have high porosity hair is that your hair doesn't take very long to dry, or your hair gets saturated pretty quickly with water, so it doesn't take long for your hair to get soaking wet, and it's harder for your hair to retain moisture, meaning it may be frizzy or be prone to being dry. So those are the three breakdowns of the levels of porosity, and some things that you may notice, or you may be able to think, that's me. I may have high porosity hair, that my hair does get frizzy, it is prone to being dry. So those are some things you can kind of think about to try to put yourself into what porosity you are. Or you can take a test. There are a couple ways to test your hair porosity. One way is the float test. In my video that I'm going to show you guys, I call it the water test. It's basically where you put your hair in a cup of water, clean hair that has no product on it, and then you can tell whether it floats whether it stays at the top and floats, or if it sinks to the bottom showing you the hair's ability to absorb moisture. Another way that you can test, and I did a little bit of this as well, was a strand test, basically feeling the rigidness of your hair cuticles. So if it's very rigid, meaning you have high porosity hair and those cuticles are very wide open, so you're able to feel, or low porosity hair where it feels really smooth, you don't have any rigidness. So you can do the flow test, you can do the strand test. You can also do just a simple air dry test. So where you would get your hair, style your hair, whatever, and see how long it takes your hair to air dry. So those are 3 ways that you can test your hair porosity. Now I'm gonna let you guys watch me. I did the float test, which I call the water test, and I also did the strand test on my own hair, going in thinking I have high porosity hair, just from the things that I described and just from some of the research that I've done. I think that I have going into this high porosity hair. So I'll let you watch the test and what my results were, and then I will come back at the end and you'll be able to see whether I am low, medium, or high porosity hair. All right, you guys, so as I said in the last clip, I'm going to be doing the porosity test on my hair. I'm going to be doing the water test. So I have some strands of my hair from the shower after my hair is freshly washed. There's no conditioner, there's no other product, there's nothing in my hair. So I'm going to see if I can get another strand from this front portion of my hair. I got one. Y'all can't see it, but I got another one. Okay, so here's how I'm doing my porosity test, right? I have this portion of my hair that does not curl like the rest. If y'all have seen my videos, I may not talk about it that much, but if you got eyes, you can see. So I'm gonna do 2 porosity tests just to see if the porosity is different, because this hair feels different. Now, whether it's heat damage, porosity, whatever, we're not having that discussion today. Today we just testing porosity. So I have 2 glasses of water, 1 for each portion of that hair. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to take this clean hair. This is the hair that I have. And I am just going to take it and drop it into this glass of water. Now I'm gonna let it sit for about 5 minutes, and I'm gonna come back and see whether the hair has sunk to the bottom, whether it's in the middle, or whether it's still floating on top of the water. Now I have this other glass, and I'm gonna put that hair from this portion of my head in. I'm about to lose it. I'm about to lose it. This hair is sacred now. Okay. So this is the hair. Y'all probably, I don't know, y'all can see it. It's even texture of it is different, right? So I'm going to put it in the other glass of water and let it sit. Okay. So I'm gonna let those sit for 5 minutes. So we are gonna start the clock. I'm not gonna let y'all sit here for 5 minutes. But yeah, I'm gonna let these sit for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna check and see what they look like, okay? All right, y'all, while I'm waiting on that, those pieces of hair to sink into that water or not sink, whatever it chooses to do. I did forget to do the strand test, which is another thing you can do to check your porosity. Now I've got conditioner in these 2, so I'm gonna do it on the side that I haven't put anything in yet. So I'm gonna do this little 1 strand of hair right here. Honestly, it's not that rigid. It's not smooth, but it's also not extra rigid. It's a little bit somewhere in between. I'm gonna try this front portion of my hair as well. These pieces up in here that don't curl. Where they at? Yeah, these. I don't know, y'all, it's about the same. I do feel a little rigidness. It actually feels more rigid. Yeah, this hair feels more rigid. More rigid. So that porosity test makes it seem like the front of my hair is high porosity and the rest of my hair is like medium to regular. But I'm gonna check on those. We're gonna look at those glasses and see what those glasses of water tell us. So this first one is the strand of hair from the front portion of my hair that I said feels different. I should have used more hair. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's kind of floating in the middle, but there are portions of it that are still on top. So I'll put some pictures because I know the video wasn't really that good, but I'll put some pictures up. And so the other glass I had was how the hair from the rest of my head, except for this section right here. And y'all, that hair's chilling at the bottom. Chilling at the bottom of the glass. Y'all see it? So looks like my prediction was right. Your girl has high porosity hair. So everywhere else except for right here, which seems to be low porosity to medium porosity. And so comparing the cup results with the strand results, to me it was a little harder to tell by doing the feel test. But clearly the cup says high and the other cup says low. So we're gonna go low porosity and high porosity everywhere else. Okay, you guys, so my test, I like to call them inconclusive almost, because the strand test, I don't really like that one. Because it's hard for me to tell. I did it. Now the float test, y'all clearly saw my hair was at the bottom of that cup of water. At the dead bottom, like it wasn't floating a little bit at all. So like I said, I do believe I have high porosity hair, just for that reason and other reasons. So yeah, for you guys that watch my channel, and I wanted to make this video because I don't want to skim over the fact that even though your hair may look like mine, or you like the styles that I do, like how my hair turns out, it is critical to know that I do have high porosity hair. And so some of the methods that I use and the products that I use may differ. You may have to adjust it based on your hair porosity a little bit. If you didn't know what porosity was before you clicked on this video, I hope you have a little bit of a better understanding of what it is. Again, I hope this was helpful. I hope it gave you some information that you can kind of take and do some more research. So if it was, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.